Good morning, fourth grade. Today we're going to move on in math and we're going to start talking about multiplicative comparison. And I know that those seem like big words, but I want to circle and talk about what that means. So if we look at this, that's like multiplication. All right, and then if we see in comparison, that's the start of compare. So with multiplicative comparison, we're just going to use multiplication to compare a set of numbers. Grab your interactive notebook, and we're going to go to the OA section. And after the table of contents, we're going to do OA 1, and we're going to put today's date, 10/13. And then we're going to write multiplicative comparison. And we're going to write what that means. So we're going to multiply to compare numbers. Go ahead and pause the video for a second so that you can get your notebook in order. And I'll be back in just a second. All right, fourth grade, we're going to continue on. Hopefully you have this in your notebook. I forgot my arrow. But now we're going to be cracking some math code, as Ms. Hernandez likes to say. I want you to write this in your math notebook. 30 equals 10 times 3. Okay? And with our math code, each of these symbols stands for something. Okay? Yes, this is an equal sign and this is a multiplication symbol. However, they also stand for some words, and we can write this math equation as a sentence. So I can write it as 30 is 10 times as many as 3. So that 10 times as many as 3, and that times as many is our multiplication sign. Pause the video, put that in your notebook, and we're going to look at it a different way. All right, now let's rewrite this. 3 times 10 equals 30. Remember we said that this multiplication symbol says times as many. So 3 times as many as 10, and then that equal sign is 30. So again, pause the video and write that in your notebook. All right, let's do one more example. So this time I'm going to start with my sentence and I'm going to put it into a mathematical equation. So I'm going to say 15 times as many as 2 is 30. And now what I want to do is I want to take this and I want to make it into a math equation that I can solve. Okay, so 15, remember times as many as, gives me my multiplication. 2 is, gives me my equal sign. 30. All right, Go ahead and pause the video. Put that in there. All right, now that we have these notes in our notebook, go ahead and open your HMH workbook to page 55, and we're going to move on and we're going to look at multiplicative comparison in word problems. All right, welcome back, fourth graders. We are now looking in our HMH workbook at page 54 and 55. I know I said open up to page 55, but we're actually going to start on page 54. All right, so I'm going to zoom in here. All right, so then I'm going to get it so I can draw. All right. It says, Tomas unlocks 2 levels in a video game. Sasha unlocks 5 times as many levels as Tomas. How many levels does Sasha unlock? So the first thing I want to do is I want to underline my important information. So I know Tomas unlocks 2 levels and Sasha unlocks 5 times as many levels. And we want to know how many Sasha unlocks. So how can I draw that in a picture? Well, we're going to do this. So Tomas is blue. He does 2 levels. And now I'm going to change my colors a little bit. I'm going to make my pen a little smaller here. And now we know that Sasha unlocks 5 times as many. So I'm going to put 1, 2, so that's 1 times, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times as many. So, as in this, if I look at what Sasha did, I know that Sasha has unlocked 10 levels in the video game. All right, now it asks me, how does your visual model show the number of levels Tomas unlocks? Well, we put an L for each level. And then it says, how does your visual model show that Sasha unlocks 5 times as many levels as Tomas? So we put 10 S's because Sasha unlocked 2 5 times. Go ahead and pause your video so that you are caught up with me. All right. Now it says complete the comparison and multiplication equation to describe and model the problem. So if we go back to our problem, we know that it said Tomas unlocked 2 levels. So I'm going to put a 2 here. And then it says that Sasha unlocked 5 times as many. So I'm going to go here because that puts 5 times as many as 2. So 5 times, which is what Sasha did, as many as the 2 levels that Tomas unlocked is 10. All right, now I can write that in a multiplication sentence that says 5 times 2 equals 10. And we should know that because that's one of our basic multiplication facts. So she unlocked 10 levels. Go ahead and make sure you're caught up. All right, friends, we are now on page 55. We're going to look at a different way to solve this problem, and we're going to use the bar model or a tape diagram to do that. Bar model and tape diagram are a little bit different, so I really want to focus on that bar model vocabulary, okay? So let's read the problem. Landon wins 4 tickets for playing a car game. He wins 6 times as many tickets for the space game. How many tickets does Landon win for the space game? Well, again, we got to look at the very beginning at what we know. So he wins 4 tickets for playing a car game. He wins 6 times as many tickets for the space game. And then we want to know how many he wins for the space game. So I'm going to use a bar model now to show the comparison between those two games. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to switch my colors again. All right. And this time I'm going to use a crayon. And I'm going to do 1 bar here. And this is the car game. And we know that for the car game, he wins 4 tickets. Okay. And then let's go, I'm going to go dark blue here, bluish purple for the space game. Now, it says in our problem, and I'm going to actually undo that arrow because it's a little big and I want to make sure I start right where I'm at. But 6 times as many. So I'm going to draw a bar model that I can put 6 of these boxes in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And remember, I draw 1 less line, just like a fraction. And then I'm going to put a 4 in each of these boxes, because I know that I'm 6 times as many as 4. All right. So what equation can we use? Well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times as many as 4, which equals, and if I don't know it right off the bat, I can count 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. So we can put this in our equation. Our equation now we can put into a comparison. 24 is 6 times as many as 4. So Landon won 24 tickets for the space game. All right, so here's what you're going to do. Pause the video so that you can make sure you caught up and got all of that done. Now, you are going to do the bottom of page 55, which is the check for understanding, and you are going to do page 56. All of the problems on page 56. When you're done with that, you're going to take a picture of your work and either upload it into your Keynote or into Google Classroom, depending on which playlist you have and what your directions say. All right. I hope you work really hard. You're going to do these practice problems in the HMH workbook, and then you're going to do the practice problems that I've added on. Make sure you work hard, guys. Love you, and I'll see you Monday.